Intro. Ugh. Okay, I'm back. I am back, everyone. Okay. To be honest with you, I don't know how to intro this. I don't know whether to go like, hey guys, welcome back. I don't know. I feel awkward doing this. That's how you know it's been such a long time since I made a book video, because I don't even know how I want to start this, but finally we have another book video. It's been probably since like December, January, like it's been a long time, you know. I've been busy. Second semester has really kicked me in the coolie. So now that second semester's over, now I have more time to make content. Currently I'm doing this, I'm making a book video, and I'm doing a vlog. So you will see the vlog, hopefully. This is like my third time trying to do it. Anyways, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. This is my reading wrap up, well, not reading wrap, I guess my reading wrap up so far. We're in May right now, so January to May, all the books I've read 18 books, so I wish I read more. I was doing very good in like the beginning of the year. I was like going back to back reading, like blah blah blah, and then school got so hectic, life got so hectic, and I just not that I stopped, it just took me more time to like pick up a book, you know, get through it, which is normally not like me, but it's okay. It's okay. And if you hear any noise in the background, that is my dog Luca. You will see him in my vlog if you go check it out. But so yeah, so far I've read 18 books. Most of them are series, so I'm a little so I loved all the books that I've read so far. I wish I went out of my comfort zone a little more. Like, I really stuck to series. I did reread a series too. So I was like, I feel like, yeah, I've read a lot of books, but I feel like I haven't, like, you know, like, tried new things yet, or like tried new books. Like, my TBR is so long, and I feel like I just haven't touched it. So with that being said, let's get into what I've read this year so far. I started reading this book at the very end of 2023, and it kind of like led in 2024, and that's Hopeless by Elise Silver. I love this book. It's the last book in the Chestnut Spring series, unfortunately. I have loved every single book that Elise Silver has put out. I think my least favorite book in the series, I think it's called Powerless. It's the one with, what's his name? Is it Jax? I don't know why I'm blanking. And Sloane, right? I don't know, but it's the purple cover book. Not that I didn't like it, but out of all of those books, that was probably my least favorite, but this one I love so much. I loved it a lot more than I actually thought I would. So basically, Beau is the brother that was in the military. We kind of heard about him throughout the whole series, like little bits and pieces. He was always more of like the sunshine kind of character, but then something happened when he was away in the military, and it kind of changed him, and he just like wasn't the same Beau he was. So that was kind of like the progression of his character throughout all the books. And then finally we make it to his book, where he's still struggling with what happened to him in the military. And Bailey, she's kind of like the town's reject. Her family is not a good family, so because of their bad reputation, she has a bad reputation. So Beau, struggling, doesn't want his family to know he's struggling. Bailey really just wants to get, like, the fuck out of the town. Like, she doesn't want to be there anymore. It's not the place for her, but she needs money to go. And she just doesn't want to be whispered at on the street anymore. Like, it's, like, a lot of people like to talk about her, and she's not having it. The tropes in this is fake marriage, kind of, I guess, like a little forced proximity. I guess if you're fake marriage, it's forced proximity. He's like the golden boy of the town. She's the bad girl of the town, but not really. Like, she's just the reject. Honestly, I really enjoyed this book. I forgot what I gave it. I gave it a 5-star, which I think I gave every single book in the series a 5-star, except Powerless. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, I really like this. I highly recommend reading the Chestnut Spring series. I can't stress that enough. I'm going to start reading I think it's called the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elise Silver soon. So yeah, then we move on to my absolute favorite series in the world, Boys of Toman. I read Binding 13, or is it Keeping 13, Saving 6, where is Redeeming 6, and then I literally just finished reading Taming 7 because it came out in April and I was just really slow in reading it because I was focusing on school and finals and all that. And I knew I would get super into it. So if you watch my TikTok, you know the majority of what I post is Boys of Toman because it is so good. It's one of those books like you hear about and you hear everyone stressing about. Like I heard about this book like when Book Talk first started, but it was kind of like I'm not really ready to read that. And I think also at the time it was like $20 something for a book, and I'm like, I'm not spending $20 for a book because obviously these are brand new covers. These are the US editions. So I think there's been like 5 different editions of this series, and because now Bloom Books is like the publisher for this series, they took away all of the books off the shelves in America. Even if they were, I don't know if they were on the shelves in the first place, but they took out all the old covers and started re-releasing these books. I didn't know that until I started reading Binding and Keeping because I had no idea about the series. I just kind of, I don't know what possessed me to pick it up. I just picked it up. It's definitely one of those books that you pick up and you don't expect it to be like as heavy, or like you just don't expect what you read in this book, in like this whole series. Binding 13 is about a girl named Shannon Lynch and about a boy named Johnny Kavanaugh. Yeah. It's a dual point of view. All the books are dual point of view. And Johnny, so I'll read the back cover. Johnny has everything going for him. On the rugby pitch, he's a force to be reckoned with, even plagued with a hidden injury. So he has his hidden injury, doesn't want anyone to know about because he's this big rugby star in Ireland. He wants to make it professional. I think it's called the U20s. Don't quote me. I'm just trying to remember what I read in the book because I don't understand any of it. And then Shannon, she's been bullied for her whole life, so she decided to, well, her and her family decided to have her transferred to Toman College, which is their high school, and that's where she meets Johnny. And yeah, I mean, you have to read it to find out. I cannot stress enough how much I love these books. Saving 6 and Redeeming 6 is about Shannon's brother, Joey Lynch, and his girlfriend. I think you pronounce it Eva or Aoife. Okay, so how you spell her name is Aoife, and I'm pretty sure the pronunciation in the beginning of the book said that you pronounce it like Ava but with an F, like Aoife. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm Irish, but obviously I don't know how to pronounce these names. There we go. So there's some, she, in the beginning of these books, she gives like a little, I guess, a glossary of what's certain, like the slang in Ireland that she uses and like some of the pronunciations of the names. So yeah, and then Taming 7 is about Johnny and Shannon's friends, Gerard Gibson and Claire Biggs. Yeah. So I highly recommend you starting the series. I feel like if you're debating reading it, please read it. All these books got a 5-star. The majority of these books got a 5-star. The only book that I didn't give a 5-star was Taming 7. Not because I didn't love it. I loved it. It didn't match what all the other 4 books gave me. And yeah, but I'm still excited because allegedly Claiming 10, which is about another friend in the friend group, is supposed to be coming out in October, allegedly. So let's cross our fingers. Binding 13 and Keeping 13 came out like January, February, like somewhere around there because that's when I got it. And then Saving 6, I'm pretty sure came out in... Saving 6, no, okay. I'm pretty sure Binding and Keeping 13 came out in January. Saving 6 came out in February. Redeeming 6 came out in March, and then Taming 7 came out in April. Yeah, well, came out. They were re-released. So yeah, so that wasn't like, I didn't read them. I read books in between all that. Between all of that, I decided to reread a comfort series that I read 2 years ago, and when I read this series, I just read it online, so I wanted the physical books, and I'm like, let me just reread the whole thing. I read the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I feel like everyone knows this series. If you haven't even read it, like, you have to know the series. Like, come on, like, it's been such a staple in book talk and, like, the book community for so long, like. But if you don't know, let me inform you. So, the deal is about Garrett Graham and Hannah Wells. And Hannah Wells, she is, well, they both go to the same college, which is Briar University. Hannah, she has had, like, trouble with intimacy due to things in her past, so it takes like a lot for her to develop a crush, to like someone. So she finally likes someone, but this someone is the college football star, and she's like, how do I how do I get on his radar? And Garrett Graham is the hockey captain of so this is like a hockey romance. So Garrett Graham is the hockey captain of Briar University's hockey team, like a very good team, but he is really struggling with his GPA, and he's like, well, I need some help. So it's kind of like one of those trade-offs where it's like, you need help, I can help you, I also need help, you can help me, and she like kind of like agrees to tutor him, and he kind of helps her to like make this guy jealous so that he like notices her. So yeah, so that's basically like the gist of it, and then from there we get the score, which is about two other friends in the friend group. The Mistake is the second book. Yeah, The Mistake is the second book. So this about another guy on the hockey team, and the score isn't about another guy on the hockey team, and the goal is about another guy on the hockey team. So I reread that whole series. I think I gave all these books 5s, whether it's because I genuinely think they should have 5s or it's just the nostalgia of reading them. I don't know, but I really do enjoy this series. And I also wanted to read a series that I know, so that since I was like kind of reading Boys of Tommen 2 at the same time, I wouldn't get like distracted. I decided to read The Legacy. I was debating on reading The Legacy for a long time because this book is like an epilogue book of all the books from the Off-Campus series, and like each couple has their own section. I definitely heard a lot of mixed reviews, so I was like, do I pick it up? Like, do I not? But I was like, you know what, I have to. Because then I wanted to read a book after that, and like, you kind of have to read this. You don't have to, but it's cohesive. So I read this. I forgot what I gave it. It honestly wasn't bad. I gave it 5 stars. So I guess I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I think it was just like nice seeing all the characters again. Seeing how they grow, how like they grew. I don't know, like, as much as I know why people hated on it, but I don't think it deserved as much hate as it got. Because it honestly wasn't bad. It made me happy. So then, after that, I'm pretty sure I was still waiting on Redeeming 6 to come out, or Taming 7. It was one of the two. Then I went on to read The Graham Effect. Now this is why I wanted to read The Legacy, because The Graham Effect is a spin-off series of the Off-Campus kids. That's what I'm thinking. This is Hannah and Garrett's daughter. So I'm just assuming that maybe the other books are going to be about the other kids in the... Actually, I don't know. I know there's like a second book, if it's not already out, I don't know. But I think it may be about one of... her name is Gigi Graham. I think it may be about her best friend. So I don't know if like they were trying to do... I honestly don't know what Elle Kennedy's trying to do. Like, I don't know if she's trying to make a spin-off series of the kids or just make like a spin-off series off of Gigi and then her friend group. I honestly don't know. This book, I really enjoyed. It wasn't bad. It was like nice. I mean, it didn't do it for me as much as like The Deal and like the OG did it for me. Like, I normally don't like spin-off series. Actually, after the Off-Campus series, there's another series called Briar U. Did I say? Why can't I think of it? Oh my god. But yeah, I think it is called the Briar U series. And that is not really, I guess you could say it's a spin-off series. It's just about 4 more hockey players on the Briar University team, like hockey team. It's just their stories after that. So I think that series is really good. I don't have the books to that because I haven't decided if I wanted to reread it yet. But so I guess that's like the second spin-off series. So that's like the first spin-off, and then this is like the second spin-off of the actual kids. But characters from Briar U and Off Campus are both mentioned in here, so I definitely wouldn't read this just like on its own if you haven't read any of the other series. I'm not saying you have to read Off Campus, Briar U, and then get to this, but at least read Off Campus. At least do that. Gigi Graham, she's at Briar University. She's on the women's hockey team. That's like her number one goal, to make the USA women's Olympic hockey team, but she is struggling with certain things in hockey, so that's when she recruits Luke Ryder, which is the male love interest, and he just transferred to Briar University. Actually, most of his hockey team did, because their college got shut down and they decided to place all those kids at Briar. They're dealing with the merging of the two schools. Luke Ryder is at his new school. He's not really, his part of the team is not being accepted by Briar's team, but Gigi still needs help with, still needs help with hockey, so she's like, okay, Luke is gonna help me. And yeah, I mean, it just kind of kicks up from there. I guess it's like a little, like, enemies to lovers. Like, it gives you, like, a little bit of that. This book wasn't bad. I think I gave it, like, a 4-star. I enjoyed it. Did it give me the same feelings as the Off-Campus series? No, but I wouldn't say I disliked it. It was nice. Happening this year a lot is I was reading The Boys of Toman. So those books are, like, they, like, took over my life, and I couldn't stop thinking about them. So, like, any other book I was reading kind of just, like, it couldn't compare to what I was reading, to, like, any other book I was reading, like, in between it being released. So, I don't know. That's just my thing. The other book that I read this year was 7 Sleepless Nights, which is kind of, like, a story about, like, it relates to Boys of Toman, but technically everything in that book didn't actually happen. The author just released it just to release it. I think she said, like, it literally has, like, the things that happened in that book did not happen, like, in the actual series. Like, I just wrote it to write it. Like, it has nothing to do with the series. So I counted it as a book I read because I still read it. So the last 2 books that I read so far in the year is from, I think it's called the Windy City series. I only have the first, well, I have the 3rd book. I just haven't read it yet. The first one is Mile High. It's about Xander's, who plays hockey for Chicago, and then Stevie, who's a flight attendant for his NHL team. It's definitely enemies to lovers. Yeah, kind of like forced proximity. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really good. I think it was, like, a nice refresher, because I felt like I was, like, stuck in a rut of rereading the Off-Campus series and waiting for the Boys of Toman, so I was feeling like there's, like, nothing new out there for me to read. So this was, like, a nice breath of fresh air after just being stuck into series. Yeah, I think I gave this 5 stars too. I think I was being very generous with my 5 stars this year, to be honest. But not that this book was bad, but I really enjoyed this book, so if you're on the fence about reading it, I definitely recommend. And then The Right Move is about Stevie's brother, who is a professional basketball player, and also Stevie's friend, who was her fellow flight attendant. And this one is forced proximity, roommates, I guess, like, another, like, enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine. I liked The Right Move more than I liked Mile High. It was just, like, everything that I wanted to happen in here happened. And because, you know, when, like, you're reading a book and you're like, oh, the author has potential to make this something. Like, let's say when a main male character fucks something up and he needs to grovel. When, like, my biggest pet peeve is when an author has the opportunity to make him grovel for, like, a long time and work for it, and she just doesn't do that. She just lets the girl forgive him. Like, what's the point? What's the point? I'm like, if you can make a man grovel, make him grovel. So I gave that another 5-star, and I'm going to start reading Caught Up, which is the 3rd book in the series. I think it's about a professional baseball player. I don't know, I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, those are all the books I've read so far. Let me tell you, I still 100% recommend Finding 13, because, like, Johnny Kavanaugh, did, like, the room just get, like, 100 times, like, hotter? Like, come on, like, Johnny Kavanaugh, even Joey Lynch, like, whew, is it hot in here? Or is like that's just like me? Like, yeah. I recommend all these books. And yeah, I mean, I still need to make my summer book list of like the books I want to buy for the summer and read for the summer. I usually do that every year, where in like June I will like save up some money and then just do one big book haul and buy all my books for the summer. And it's usually like 10 books. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I may just like buy one book at a time now, because I think I may want to start like testing out different genres maybe. I don't know yet, but yeah, so that is all the books I've read. For all these books, I would say 16 or over if like you're looking for kind of like an age range. I feel like Boys of Toman, it's very like heavy in the content. So definitely read all the trigger warnings. I mean, I think you should do that for every book. Read all the trigger warnings, especially for Boys of Toman, but yeah, because it's very heavy and it definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, because it made me think, I'm like, this stuff genuinely happens. Like, it's not just like, even though it's fictional, like, it's not like this stuff could actually happen, and it does happen. So if you read the series, you know what I'm talking about, but I definitely recommend that series. I feel like this was kind of a short video, but I wanted to do a little book video, and I figured doing like a little reading wrap up before I do anything else is gonna be nice. I also want to make a video about like books I recommend, like let's say if you're a first time reader or if you're trying out new genres and like all that. So I think I'm gonna make that video soon. This book video is probably gonna be posted before my vlog. But yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, bye!